Okay, review for the final test of the year, other than the final, for the final regular test. This is the 7th period video, so we'll be working these problems. All of this is posted in the Word document or the Google document that has the links, so you can figure out where you need to go, or you can just press pause right now and go find what you need to find. Okay, so number 5 for us. Log base 2 of 1024 means I should probably fishhook this thing. 2 to some power equals 1024. I don't have that one memorized. Maybe you do. The highest one I have memorized is 2 to the 6 is 64. That's the one, sort of the last one I have off the top of my head. If you got to start lower than that, that's fine too. 2 to the 7th is 128. 2 to the 8th is 256. 2 to the 9th is 512. 2 to the 10th is 1024. So my answer is 10. Be careful, the answer is not 2 to the 10th. Don't put 2 to the 10th. The answer is 10, because 2 to the 10th is 1024. Number 11. Same type problem, although now we got fractions, so who knows what's going on here. 1/4 raised to something equals 8. So how am I going to get from 1/4 to 8? Negative for sure, that would flip it over. And how do I get from 4 to 8? This one's kind of tricky.
So like 2/3.
Yeah, I need to... Wait, you said 2/3. I need to square root it and then cube it. So the root goes in the bottom, power goes in the top, and you just square root it and then cube it. So negative 3/2. Yeah. Xander?
Can't you just do like a -2? Because then it would flip the 1/4 to a 4/1. Oh wait, I see.
Like the negative, but 4 squared 16. Yeah. But there would definitely be people who put -2 on the test if that was a test question, for that exact reason. Even though they would know better as soon as they got it back. Another like side comment here. Part 1, no calculator, so this is like the review for Wednesday's test. When we hit the calculator part, it'll be the review for Thursday's test. Some equations without a calculator means we should be able to solve them by hand. So let's look at number 17. What would you like to do on 17? Let's condense first. So subtraction turns into division. So 2x plus 5 over x equals 2. What would you like to do next? Yeah, fishhook. So 3 squared equals 2x plus 5 over x. Now it's just algebra. I guess I should put quotes around that, like everyone can just do algebra simply. What would you do next to start to solve for x? Multiply by x. So 9x equals 2x plus 5. So 7x equals 5. And x equals 5/7. And I should probably be careful with log equations to make sure I'm not logging a negative number. 2 times 5/7 plus 5, I don't know what that is, but it's positive. And log of 5/7, again, I have no idea what log of 5/7 is, but it's positive, so we're good. jump down to 23. Solve for y. Thoughts on what we do first on 23 to start to get y by itself? Natural log. Y is in the exponent. We don't want it in the exponent. So if we'll natural log both sides, that x plus y can come down front. I could divide by natural log of v, but it would be better if I just knew that the natural log of v is 1. And then to solve for y, I'll just subtract x over. So that one wasn't too bad, but we can rearrange problems all sorts of ways and force you to do algebra things to solve. Let's skip down to 29. Which means we skip the expand section, but if we can condense, we can probably expand, right? So condense and simplify. So I can put the 1/2 back as the power now. So natural log, 9 to the 1/2 would be 3. Minus natural log 2 cubed is 8. Minus natural log of 3. I can distribute that minus sign. So condensing, anything positive goes in the top, anything negative goes in the bottom. The 3's cancel. Natural log of 1/8. Slightly different way to work that. If you had seen it right here, what's the natural log of 3 minus the natural log of 3? Yeah, those would cancel. And you could get negative natural log of 8. And then if you put that minus sign up top, you flip it over and get natural log of 1/8. So, almost as always, the harder the problem, the more ways there are to get to the answer. Okay, 35 is the next one I'm scheduled to do, but I want to do 32 and 33 because it's been a while since we graphed. And I did those in the other classes, so let's make sure we're good here. Because we haven't graphed in a while. But I bet you remember what the minus 3 does. Down 3. So that takes care of the minus 3 stuff. If you don't remember the points, you're probably not alone because we didn't do very much of this. But we could just redo a table of values. And it would be helpful if you knew the best x values to plug in. -1, 0, and 1. So 2 to the -1 is 1/2. 2 to the 0 is 1. 2 to the first is 2. So let's plot those points. Not many points there. In fact, they almost look like a line. They're not. So, might be a good idea to do one more. If I plug in x equals 2, what do I get? 4. So maybe that helps me see this thing starting to make that sharp turn up. Next one would be 8, and then 16, and then 32, and off we go. On the other side, 1/2, 1/4, 1/8, 1/16, and so on. Which reminds me that there's an asymptote there. Of y equals -3. Looky there, we moved down 3, and so that moved the asymptote down 3. How about the domain? Yeah, all real numbers. And the range? Yeah, -3 to infinity. But not including 3. In fact, that goes with the fact that that's an asymptote. Right? We don't get to -3. So start just above -3 and on up from there. Okay, to graph a log, well, let's back up a second before we get too far into that one. What's the +5 do? Left 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you might remember that we didn't really graph a log. We turned it into an exponent. Right? Why bother with logs when you can do an exponent instead? So 3 to the y equals x. Which variable would we be picking here? The y's. So I'm going to stop there, but that's enough to get you going for that one. Plus, it's posted elsewhere. All right, let's look at 35. That should be a relatively easy one. -3 would flip it over, and everything is to the -3. So I'm going to flip and cube the 2, flip and cube the 3, and then e cubed in the bottom. You should hope for some ones like that. 41. -2 natural log 1 over e cubed. A couple things you can do there. Well, like, do you want to put the -2 up as the exponent, or you just want to leave it there and figure out natural log of 1 over e cubed and then deal with the -2? You want to put it as the exponent? Either way is fine. If you put it as the exponent, what does this become? It's actually a good move here, because that becomes e to the 6th. And now I'm thinking e to something equals e to the 6. So what does the something have to be? 6. E to the 6 equals e to the 6. If we had not moved that -2, natural log of 1 over e cubed is -3, and then -2 times -3 is +6. So either way would have got us there. All right, now we're on to the with calculator part. So this would be Thursday's portion of the exam. And let's look at 47. Let's see. I have a calculator, so I'm expecting weird answers here. What should I do first on 47? I can combine. That minus sign leads to division. So x to the 10th over x to the 7th, which would be x cubed, equals 12. Oh, this is going to be an ugly number. What should I do next? Fish hook that thing. So 5 to the 12th equals x cubed. There's other things to do, but 5 to the 12th equals x cubed is fine. And then I would cube root both sides. You could go to the calculator with that, but if I cube root both sides, I'm going to get 5 to the 4th. Makes life on my calculator a little easier anyway. I think a lot of people would just do the cube root of 5 to the 12th. That should be the same thing, though. Yeah. Again, you got a calculator, so jump to the calculator whenever you like. $53. What do you want to do first on 53? How can we undo that natural log? Yeah, let's draw this picture here. If we want to turn a log into an exponent, we fishhook it. If we want to turn an exponent into a log, we just natural log both sides. So 53 is a log problem. Let's fishhook it and see what happens. E to the first equals x plus 3. So x equals e minus 3. That turned into an easy problem. I didn't print out the answer key, so I'm going to check this one to make sure I'm right. Natural log of answer plus 3 is supposed to be 1, and it is, so I feel pretty good about that answer. Remember, on the calculator part of the test, it's easy to check your answers. I think you'll have time to check your answers. You should check your answers. $59. What should we do first on 59? Natural log. So back and forth we go. If you got a natural log problem, you're probably going to exponent, like fishhook it. If you got an e problem, you're probably going to natural log it. So negative 2x natural log e equals natural log of 0.2. You can divide by natural log e if you want to. I happen to know that that's equal to 1. Log of 0.2 divided by negative 2, 0.805. And again, to both illustrate how easy it is to check and for my own purposes of making sure I got the problem right, e to the negative 2 times answer is supposed to be 0.2, and it is, so yay us, we got that one right. Turn to the back. 65. Wait, I feel like we did that one already. Maybe that was a different class. Maybe that was a different class. What do you want to do with this one? Fishhook. So e to the x equals 1 over cube root of e squared. Maybe it would be wise to write 1 over the cube root of e squared as a power. So it's been flipped, squared, and cube rooted. So how do I accomplish all of those things? Flipped is negative, 2 is the power, 3 is the root. Oh, which means x is just negative 2/3. Powers and roots, powers and roots, powers and roots. Along with logs and exponents. 71. Last one for the video, and then I'll take whatever questions you got. Oh, I think I'm going to like this one. What would you like to do first on 71? Although a bunch of people answered that wrong last period. What do you want to do first on 71?
Subtract 5.
Subtract 5. They wanted to divide by 5. But I don't know. Like there's subtraction going on over here, or adding, so let's subtract 5. Then I'll divide by -1. Got an exponent. How do we fix exponents? Natural log. So that x can come down front. Some of you are just going to stop writing natural log of e because you know it's 1. Some of you may have already seen where this problem's going. Others are going to grab a calculator because you're process oriented rather than think about it oriented. What happens when I get natural log where I type in this?
No.
That just doesn't work. No solution. Is there a spot you might have caught that earlier? Maybe, maybe not. E to the x equals -7, like that's there's never going to be anything that gives me a negative answer. So a few people will catch it and bypass a few steps. Honestly, most people don't, because they're so focused on, okay, natural log both sides, bring it out front, divide, move things around. Like they forget to look for that kind of thing. It's fine. It doesn't work. You get there eventually. Okay, so between this video and the other 2 videos, you got all the videos worked, all the problems shown. So watch however much you need to tonight and or tomorrow night to be ready for the test on Wednesday, Thursday.